Representative Sue Myrick. One of the toughest fighters I've ever met. And hang on. I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Where was her teleprompter? That's right, she didn't have one because we don't need them. We speak from our hearts. Now, got a couple of more people that were not on the list a minute ago for candidates. Michael Hobbs, County Commissioner at Large. Where are you, Michael? Representative Bill Brawley, North Carolina 103. Bill. And for Superintendent of Public Instruction, John Tedesco. John. And please, anybody else whose name was not on the list earlier or who has not been announced, would you please stand? There they are. How about a round of applause? Thank you very much. Okay. Like Mayor Pat was saying a minute ago, future governor of North Carolina, we've got to start working with our kids and teaching them the values of conservatism against the ever-growing tyranny of the Democrats and liberalism. I know with my kids, they go to a government school because their mom can't homeschool them from Starbucks. I'm sorry. That's my trophy wife of 17 years. Her name's Jody. She's right back there. But they go to a government school, and it's a good government school, but what we do is we are involved. And I'm there every day, and I know this is going to sound bad, but I'm there to deprogram them from their indoctrination that they may be getting at the government schools. My daughter made me very proud the other day. She came in and she told me about a new friend she had met at school. She's in the 6th grade. My daughter's name is Lainey, and she's 11. She said, "Daddy, I met a new friend at school today." And I said, "Well, that's great." I said, how did you meet her? She said, "Well, we were just talking, and then we went into class, and our science teacher was teaching us about man-made global warming. And she looked over at me and she said, 'Do you believe in man-made global warming?' And my daughter said, I said, 'No.' She said, so then I knew that she was a good person." My son is 8, and he came home from the library the other day, and he said, "Daddy, look what I got. I'm doing a book report." And he held up his book, and guess who he chose to read about for his book report? 40th President of our United States of America, Ronald Wilson Reagan. Too often, kids go to the schools with the criteria and the indoctrination that the public schools want to give them, and they don't have somebody stopping them and saying, "Hey, this is not right. This is not the way the United States of America should be." Now, I don't tell my kids to go in and argue with their teachers or anything. I just explain to them, you have to say what the teachers want you to say in order to pass, and then we know the difference. So all of us have heroes. All of us have mentors. I have a mentor. And you may think this is cliche, but my mentor is Rush Limbaugh. So you think, well, of course his mentor is going to be Rush Limbaugh because he's a radio guy. Well, that's just part of it. He is a brilliant radio person. But he has also been with me since I was in my early 20s, and I was striking out on my own with a new wife, and I was an adult with a job and paying taxes. And I would listen to him every day. And he taught me a lot about what life is really about. So what I'm suggesting to you is find someone, find a young person, find someone who is not necessarily young, they're just lost, and be their political mentor. Be the one they go to for guidance. You can do that.
Excellent point out there, TJ.
Please tell me y'all heard that and I'm not going crazy, that was Rush Limbaugh's voice. Okay, April, who had called me to do this tonight, met us for lunch one day and was describing what everything was about here at the Lincoln Reagan Day dinner. And she said, we have a keynote speaker, and her name is Marsha Blackburn, and she's from Tennessee. She said, are you familiar with her? And I said, oh, yeah, I am. Not wanting to say what was really wanting to come out of my mouth, which was, oh my gosh, yes, I know Marsha Blackburn. I'm such a huge fan. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like a teenage girl talking about Justin Bieber, and I was trying to silence that. When I got home after that lunch, I told Pete, I said, you know what, I've got to really bring it, because Pat McCrory and Sue, I've known them forever. They're not impressed with me and never will be. So I was completely giddy. Now, I meet a lot of celebrities and I've interviewed a lot of big movie stars and singers and all that with my job, but I don't get all crazy about them because they're deranged, most of them. But you know how most of us can name every state that doesn't have an income tax and then fantasize about what it would be like if we lived in the state that didn't have income tax? And we can just rattle them off: Alaska, Florida, Texas, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Tennessee, Washington, and Wyoming. Well, when she was a state senator, she led the fight to make sure that her state of Tennessee stayed income tax free. She's all about individual freedom, free enterprise, smaller government, and she has been named a taxpayer hero by Americans for Tax Reform every year that she served in Congress. From the 7th District of the great state of Tennessee, and proving once again, without a shadow of a doubt, that Republican women are way prettier than Democrat women. I proudly present to you U.S. Congressman Marsha Blackburn.
All right, TJ, way to go. Thank you. What an absolute thrill to be here with you. I cannot wait. I need to get all of you to take a picture so I can send it to my constituent and neighbor Daryl Waltrip and say, hey, baby, look at where I am now.